For cord 57A, explain this pre-oiler to you. Okay, here's where I installed mine, and as you can see I put a sticker that says 2 psi max. I come down here, all I've done down here, flashlight, is it comes straight out, has a T with a gauge, goes into the right in there to that valve, the marine grade valve, and then goes straight to the engine. Alright, and I'm going to start this twice so that you can see how this actually works. My light back up. Alright, sorry for the video quality. Now, oh fuck me. Alright, now, you see we got 60 some psi in there. Alright babe, turn the key on but don't start it. You'll see it move real fast, and then when it hits the wall, it's full of pre-oil. Okay. Now, as you can see, it takes forever. It takes a long time for that to go down. That's 60 psi. Now you notice when we restart it, it's going to be noisy, but it's only going to go up to like 50 psi because it's hot. Go ahead and start it. Alright, shut it off. Now as you see, we're only getting 30 psi, and that's because it's hot. When you start it up after a few hours, you get a lot more pressure simply because the oil's thicker and you get more pressure out of it, cold oil pressure. Now, here's the controller, which is basically exactly what you've seen, or I sent you a message. So that's how I have it set up down here. So as you can see, you got time. Now I'm gonna do it in here to give you a reference. Say hi, Jess.
Hello.
Now, as you can see that gauge right there, go ahead and turn the key. Normally it would take a couple seconds, but I just started it, so obviously it's gonna pop right up. Let's see how much time you have before it goes down. There it is. I'll go ahead and start it up. Alright. So what happens is you're putting that fuse in, and by the time you're getting in the truck, your gauge has already gone down. Alright? And if you don't have a couple pounds of pressure, shut that off. If you don't have a couple pounds of pressure in that tank, then it's going to come out of there real slow. And if you put too much pressure in there, like say 3 or 4 or 5 pounds, it's going to shoot that oil out of there so fast you're never going to miss it. That gauge will pop up and then you'll pop back down, and then you'll just get air in your engine. It took me a year or two to find that balance, and that balance is about 2 psi. As you see, we started it up again, and we got our pressure back to 40 psi. Come on. Oh, let me see. Yeah, you're gonna have to trust me. It's 40 psi. So the gauge helps a lot, so you can actually see what's going on with your oil pressure. Now this is a brand new engine, so I'm getting a little bit better pressure than you would normally get in an older engine. I'm not saying yours shouldn't. My old engine would get 60 psi cold and about 25 psi while it's running. Now, all this guy does is shuts that off. It shuts off the tank after 30 seconds. So the engine's able to pump, into the tank, but the tank can't go out. Without this, it can go out. If the key is on, that oil pressure is going to stay with the engine pressure instead of staying at that high cold pressure. That's where this comes in. That's where your problem. That's why you're not getting what you're looking for, because as your engine warms up, your pressure is going down to probably 20 psi, which isn't going to be enough to pop up your gauge. And when you go down the road, say it's hot, you start it up, you're going down the road, you get a little RPMs, there goes your pressure. Your pressure goes right back up, and this cuts off after 30 seconds, so all that pressure is stored in there, so that next time you start it, again, go ahead and turn the key, but don't start it. you'll see it goes down. Go ahead and turn the key, but don't start it. Turn the key on. Sorry. And as again, you can see it's pre-oiling. And now, go ahead and shut it off, or start it up. Get our pressure. Now watch this. A little gas. Simulate going down the road. You get your oil pressure. Now as the RPM goes down, oil pressure goes down. Now after 30 seconds, that gauge, that's going to cut it off. Now after 30 seconds, we'll give it a second here. After about 30 seconds, that controller is going to shut off the ability for it to go back into the engine. Alright? So, if I reach up here and rev that engine, it's going to hold that pressure and stay there. So you're going down the road 2,000 RPM and you're getting, I'm already at 50 PSI. And it's going to hold that pressure. It's not going down because that controller is off. So it's very important. It's like an integral part. And the guy's an idiot for cutting it out of there or taking it out. This is the fuse. Go ahead and shut that off. This is the fuse I used to tap. So you can see. And I put a little connector so I can unplug it if I need to for any reason. The gauge is a 1/4 MPT fitting with the T that should have come with your kit, but it's all 1/4 inch MPT. Cost me $5 for the gauge, and it's been on there for years. It doesn't leak. There's nothing wrong with that part of it. And this works every time. So we'll go back in the car and we'll do it again. Go ahead and turn that key, start it like you normally would. Wait 3 or 4 dings and fire it up. Now you got your pressure back. It's literally that simple. That's how it's supposed to work. If it isn't working that way, then something's wrong. And what I think, go ahead and shut that off. What I think is wrong is that pressure gauge is missing. And, that controller's missing, and that's what's holding you up. Between the controller and having too much pressure in that tank. Once you get this dialed in, it'll work for years. And mine's been working for about 4 years now, and it hasn't missed a beat. I use it, obviously every time we start the car, we'll probably put 50,000 miles on that setup without it missing a beat. It has never missed a beat. So that's why I know your problem is with that controller right there. If you have any other questions or need me to make a video, I can help you. Obviously, I can do a video better than I can type, frankly, because I have a really hard time seeing and I just suck at typing. So I hope this helps you. If you need anything, again, just ask. Send me a message on the Explorer forum. If anybody else gets to see this video, same thing. You can go to Explorer forum. My name's Donald S. And you can simply send me a message and I'll be happy to help. I really will. So if we can do anything to fix that, I would go ahead and get that first link I sent you, which you'll see is exactly like this. I have all the original instructions that came with the Preoiler, and I can help you with that. My battery's about to die, so again, if you need help, let me know.